Hey there, Angel from Gaming with a quick guide for Shadow of the Erdtree. In this guide I'll give you an easy strategy to defeat Messmer the Impaler, the boss at the top of the Shadow Keep. Let's start with the gear. For the weapons I'm using the light Greatsword Milady. This is a new weapon for the DLC and can be found inside a chest atop of one of the towers of Castle Ensis. Here's its location. The great thing about this weapon is that its slashes are swift, they build up bleed, and can be paired with any Ice Ash of War to deal extra elemental damage to Mesmer. I tried other heavier weapons against Mesmer, but he's so agile that the charge time was way too much and I kept missing the target, so I stuck with this sword. Now talking about armor, I went back to my OG Elden Ring armor, the big boy. My thinking behind this was that Mesmer's attacks were so fast that I had a better chance by playing to my potato skills in favor of blocking the majority of the incoming attacks and learning a few dodges. So this build, along with my maxed out shield and a few talismans and incantations that I'll detail later, helped me not to get destroyed by the boss attacks. For the talismans I used the two-headed turtle to greatly raise stamina recovery speed. This one is new to the DLC and can be found inside a cave behind a waterfall if you follow the river upstream in the first area. Here's its location. This talisman proved great for my potato blocking strategy to replenish the stamina bar fast by releasing the block button after every hit and that way avoiding Mesmer breaking my poise constantly. The second talisman is the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, a huge boost of physical damage negation, followed by a Flame Drake Talisman +2 for fire damage negation and the Crucible Scale Talisman for reduced damage from critical hits, which will save your life if you ever get caught by Mesmer. For the Flask of Wondrous Physics, I mixed the Opaline Bubble tier and the Flame Shrouded Crack tier in what I think results in a fire damage negation cocktail. Talking about spells, I used Black Flame's Protection to increase physical damage negation, Golden Bow to increase attack and defense for me and my allies, and Flame Fortification for even more fire damage negation. Finally, my Spirit Dash is the Mimic tier. As for the overall strategy for the fight, I have to say that the difficulty spike was massive compared to other bosses that I've faced so far, so be prepared to stick to this fight for a while. I started to see the most progress when I focused Mesmer's attention on my character while I block his attacks so my Mimic tier attacked him in the meantime, and then I counterattacked on the last attack of each of his combos after I dodged it or blocked it. This way I had a great opening to deal damage and build up damage to make him bleed. Be patient for that opening and attack when you get that window. If not, you'll get destroyed mid-combo. Besides that, you need to get used to his attacks and find what's best for you to dodge or block correctly. Some of his attacks are hard to dodge, like the initial fireball explosion that I timed with 2 dodges, one when I saw him thrusting at me, and the second immediately after. Or the one in the second phase where the timing is when you see the snake launch towards the top of the screen, followed by a second dodge with a slight delay after the first one. Finally, the third and probably the most difficult one was the snake explosion on the second phase where I tried to run or dodge outwards of the explosion zone, followed by blocks or dodges to avoid the snakes and his final attack. This is really hard. If you're using the Mimic tier, my best recommendation is to keep his focus on your character to let the Mimic tier do the most of the damage and help with your counters whenever you get a chance. This took me like 5 hours, but I hope with these tips it will be less time for you. When you defeat Mesmer, you'll be rewarded with 400,000 runes and the remembrance of the Impaler and Mesmer's kindling. Be sure to check out more Shadow of the Erdtree DLC videos that I will be uploading to his playlist right here as I progress through the game. But for now, I hope this was useful, thank you for watching and keep enjoying the game.